What is up, guys? It is Tony here, and today we're doing a quick little montage editing tutorial. And today we're doing a actually very popularly requested effect. This is an effect that was popularized by Baker, I believe, and it's a really cool little effect just to add a little extra something to your editing, and it's called the screen fracture effect. And there's plenty of tutorials out there. I've seen tons of them, and most of them are on After Effects. So for a lot of the people out there, including myself, who are Final Cut Pro editors, we need a way to do it on Final Cut Pro. So I spent a little bit of time trying to figure it out, and I eventually figured it out. And it's actually pretty simple, and you can do it without getting any plugins, which is, of course, something that a lot of you guys complain about when I do tutorials with plugins. But today, no plugins are needed, which is great. And all you got to do is just find a clip, get that in there, render it out, and find a part that would fit it, fit the effect perfectly. I'd recommend something where you're scoping in. That usually works out really well. And what you do is you cut that clip out, so you just cut it, use the blade tool to cut the parts out where he zooms in. And then you're going to take that clip and you're going to select it, do Command C to copy it, and then you're going to use the snapping tool, which I believe you hit N to select, to copy it directly next to where that clip happens. So it'll just repeat itself twice. What you're going to do with this second clip that you just copied is you're going to add an effect to it. Now the effect we're going to be using today, which we did a tutorial on last week, so you guys should probably be comfortable with it now, is the mask effect. Just simply mask. Don't use the 7-point mask, use the 4-point mask. And when you bring that in, you'll notice that you have 4 points to work with. Now, what you're going to do with those 4 points is very simple. You're going to be creative. You're going to choose where you want this effect to happen. So I recommend separating these two a little bit, putting them at the bottom, bringing this one up to the top, bringing this one up to the top, and kind of doing like a V shape. That usually does a good job for it. So we'll do that right there. I think that's good. Actually, you know what? By the way, if you can't grab the points anymore, you just zoom out by using this right here. Go to 25%. I'm actually going to bring this a little bit more over. I'm going to bring this a little bit more over. I want to get a little bit more towards the front of the scope. I think that looks good. All right, so that's going to be our fracture. That's what's going to be fractured from the clip. Now, what you do with this fracture, this clip here, is you're going to make this a new compound clip. When you do that, this pretty much becomes a clip with black or keyed parts, and then there's video or motion in that one center. So basically, this is just a clip now that just has black edges. It's not an effect anymore, it's just a black edged clip. Now what you're going to do with this clip is you're going to drag it above and on top of the original. And you'll notice it disappears. Where'd those black edges go? You would think since it's on top that the black edges would still appear. The reason why it does that is because Final Cut Pro has a built-in feature where it automatically keys out black spaces. That doesn't mean it's going to key out, this here. It means that if it's zero black and they know that it's a keyed piece of footage, it'll key out that black area. Now, if it doesn't do this for you, just for tips, if you ever have a situation where you mask it, use the third-party app to mask possibly, all you got to do is go to blend mode and then go to add, and that will get rid of all of the black areas. But keep in mind, it may also make your clip more opaque. Simply because, it's going to key out any black spots, so it'll key out some of your sniper if your sniper has a black tinge to it. So, once you have this clip sitting on top, you're going to want to start getting ready to do the fracturing effect, because as you can see, this doesn't look any different than before. The basic way to do it is to go into your inspector tool, you can see it right here, and once you're in your inspector tool, you go into video, and you go to scale. And all you do is just click up the scale a little bit. And you can see already, there's the effect. It starts to fracture the screen slightly. You can turn that up a lot. You can go a little crazy with it. And you can move it over. You can move it around any space you want. As you can see, it doesn't leave a hole there. So you can kind of like have it over here if you want. And you can also use this for like split view. Like say you want to have you want to zoom in on the sniper and you can just put the zoomed in sniper over here or anything like that. This doesn't only have to be screen fracturing. It can be split screening and things like that, which is really cool. This can also be used for the kill feed. You can have the kill feed zoomed in a little bit. There's a lot of cool things you could do with this screen fracturing concept, and it's really nice. Actually, I'm thinking about using it in some of my upcoming edits. So there you go. That's pretty much the screen fracture effect as, done. But here's a little thing I want to show you. Since, I've seen some tutorials where they kind of just go, okay, that's the effect. Have a nice day. Well, here's the thing. if you play right here, it just cuts in. It's really weird. So what I was thinking is, why not show you guys how to do a little cool transition to where it kind of like comes in slowly. So what I thought of doing is taking this effect, moving it over a little bit, like right about here. That looks good. Okay. And then bringing this over using the arrow keys, moving the selector tool to the beginning, and then taking the position, keyframing the position, and then moving the position off screen. Then clicking done, moving forward to the first frame where it goes slow-mo on the original clip, and then keyframing the position again. And then we got to zoom out a bit. We can actually just use the X coordinate. Let's bring the X coordinate down a little bit to like -170. So bringing the clip in a bit more, transforming it over, and then kind of having it like right there. I think that's good. Now it kind of slides in, so that's a cool little effect. Another way you can do it is you can have it scale in. So if we undo all of that, now we can do a little scale in. So what you do is you keyframe the first frame up here and have it become much smaller. I'm actually going to move it to the center a little bit more before I do this. And by the way, this is the point where it scales from, so that's going to be a little bit awkward, but you got to deal with it. That's kind of what happens. So we're going to put it like right here, and you're going to go ahead and scale it down to 0% scale. Move forward a few frames, keyframe again, and then move it up to whatever scale you want it to be. And now you can see it kind of zooms in. And you can play around with that and figure out what works best for you. This is a little bit sloppy, but I wanted just to show you that you can use keyframes to create transitions for this effect, which is really cool. There's a lot of other cool things you could do with this. I'll just throw some things out there. I'm not going to show you all of them. You can add a color correction to the screen fracture, so you can have like a really cool, like bright screen fracture or a dark screen fracture to add to the effect a little bit. You can do all sorts of things. Just be creative with it. Play around with it. If you guys have any trouble and you want some help, go ahead and comment below. And yeah, that's just my quick little video on the screen fracture effect. As far as you can pretty much do it on Final Cut Pro. If you have any suggestions for future tutorials that I should do, go ahead and comment those below once again. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.